can't tell you how stoked we were when we walked around the corner and we saw you all standing there. I was like, wait a minute, are they for us? We got a little scared. Hey, I want to say thank you all for coming. You've got the Carbine development team working on WildStar. I'm going to start with my introduction. My name is Troy Hewitt. I'm the community director / producer, which means I do whatever they tell me to do. We're going to start right over here.
Hello. I'm Mike Donatelli. I'm the content director. You might have seen me in a video on Up at Noon. It was creepy, but I recommend seeing it.
I'm Chad Moore. I'm the lead narrative designer, which means I do a lot of writing and lore and character stuff, all the stuff that I'm certain all of you guys are going to read every word that we put into WildStar.
I'm Jeremy Gaffney. I'm executive producer, which means I take credit for everything that everybody else here does.
I'm Matt McCarskey. I do everything Jeremy takes credit for. I'm the art director and the creative director on the project.
And I'm Charlie Lanous. I'm the audio director, so I'm responsible for all things audio, music, sound effects, and actually I share VO with Pappy Moore down at the end of the table.
Pappy!
Woo.
All right, so I thought we would kick things off by showing you the latest video, What is WildStar? Mike Geldart over here, who is our global brand manager, he's going to be working the controls today. He's going to play that video for you now.
Legend tells of the mysterious planet Nexus, once inhabited by the hyper-advanced Eldon, who disappeared from the galaxy long ago. Where is this lost world? What mysteries and wonders will be found there? And does it conceal ancient technologies and forbidden magic of awesome, unimaginable power? Guess what? You're gonna find out, Cupcake. Nexus has just been discovered, and things are about to get real. Welcome to WildStar. When someone finds the most legendary planet in the universe, you can be damn sure that everyone is saddling up their starship and blazing a trail to get there. On one side, you've got the Exiles, a motley crew of refugees, outlaws, and mercenaries. On the other, the Dominion, a powerful interstellar empire that prides itself on kicking ass. Throw in a bunch of the weirdest, wildest, and most ruthless races this side of the event horizon, and you've got an explosive cocktail just looking for someone to party with. You ready for a fight? Oh, yeah. Face off against dangerous alien organisms, killer robots, and savage natives, using skill, movement, and some old-fashioned backbone to smash your enemies to smithereens. Whether your arsenal is big guns and bullets or supercharged magical spells, you'll be cracking skulls and making corpses in no time. Well, stakes not high enough for you? Then you and some of your most bloodthirsty friends should double down and buy a war plot. Then outfit it with enough firepower to blow a hole in the space-time continuum. When your death fortress is complete, go to war against your enemies and earn rewards so epic your head will explode like a supernova. Boom! Taming a hostile alien world ain't gonna be easy, so choose a path and start taking care of business. As a soldier, scientist, settler, or explorer, you'll be facing Nexus head-on with custom content and rewards that make it your kind of adventure. So whether it's starting a war, building a town, climbing a mountain, or studying bug-eyed, brain-eating extraterrestrial critters, you're whipping this planet into shape with your own personal style. You didn't come halfway across the galaxy for a weekend visit. No. So grab a plot, build a house, and kick back on your little piece of the galactic dream. Customize your house with a mind-numbing array of choices, transforming it into a unique reflection of your own enigmatic, schizophrenic, or sociopathic tastes. Snazzy! And just when you think it's all over and maybe it's time to take a breather, guess again. Dive headfirst into an episodic world story to reveal the ultimate secrets of Nexus, doing your best to avoid getting demolished, dissected, or vaporized. Along the way, you'll see some of the most epic content since the Big Bang itself, squaring off against the most hair-raising enemies that Nexus has to offer. Add to that an unbelievable lineup of dungeons, raids, PvP battlegrounds, and adventures, and you've got a rich, deep, unforgettable experience that's guaranteed to blow your mind. WildStar. Adventure is about to get an ass-kicking.
Hey, so that video actually showcased some of the really important things that we want to make sure you take away about WildStar. I want to throw it over to JG to talk a little bit about. So in the video, we saw references to paths, war plots, housing, some Elder game mechanics, and then we went through the dungeons, the raids, the battlegrounds, adventures, that whole thing. Talk a little bit about what we're doing here.
So here's the real short form. We're a company of gamers. Everybody in the company, from receptionist to CEO, plays games. And so we think there's a couple of things that need to be done to make MMOs rock. First of all, one of the easiest things to screw up is to have a crappy leveling game. If it's boring, if it's grindy, if it's repetitive, there's about 48 ways to screw it up. And so we don't want that. We want to make sure it's high variety. We want lots of areas, and each area feels very different one to the next. We want to have different gameplay in each of those areas. We want paths because people identify as certain play styles. Even if you're not all up on like Bartle's types and all the goofy research on the subject, it's not goofy, Bartle's a smart dude. Even if you're not up on MMO research, people tend to know how they play games. Some people want to explore. They got to see like that bright shiny thing up in the mountains and they got to figure out how to get up there. So we reward them for it. We give them quest content and mission content that's the kind of things they want to do. Or people study and they want to like do every single thing. If you got to catch like every single Pokemon, if you must do every achievement, that's like a collector style. That's scientists for us. Socializing. About 20% of people want to play MMOs largely to socialize, and so we give a path around it. Or if you're like, to hell with all those other people, I want to kill stuff, I want to go Leroy Jenkins on everything. Awesome, you're a soldier. Big public quests, assassination missions, weapon trials. We want to give people and let people play the way they want to play. And really all of our systems are based around that. But there's two components for us. Got to have a good leveling game. Got to be fun, got to be deep, got to have a good time, especially if you played a ton of MMOs before, and then you have to do Elder games. And Elder games, for those not familiar with the term, what do you do once you've hit level cap? And this is like the MMO internal term. We're not trying to put marketing buzz around like Elder game as a meme or anything. That's what do you do when you're at top level. Because the game should not end there, the game should start there in many ways, and there's got to be deep stuff for you to play over the long haul. And so when we want that for PvP, that's War Plots is all about. We want that if you're a soloer, because soloers often get, to be blunt, kind of left alone at the top level with not much to do but grind stuff. And really, or alternatively, if you're in the group stuff, then we want to give you awesome raids and like deep, hard raids, as opposed to either not have time to do it or bunt and do crap, or God forbid, do nothing. So anyway, the long story short on it is those are the aspects we really want to nail. Have a great time while you're leveling, and when you're done leveling, make sure there's fun stuff to do that you have not done before, and mix this in with our own bizarre sense of humor, which has absolutely no demographic we're trying to appeal to other than we enjoy it, and it's kind of us. So any game we do, it's kind of what you're going to get.
So we mentioned a little bit about Elder game stuff. Mike Donatelli, can you talk a little bit about adventures and how that plays a role?
Sure, I can talk about adventures. We do a lot of, as Jeremy was saying, we try to do a lot of content for everybody, all the way up through the game to Elder game. One of the things we do as well is group-oriented, I want to say they're dungeons or raids, but it's group-oriented content that's very strategic. We call them adventures, and you turn around and you queue for them like you would a dungeon, and then you go in there and they're very strategic. It's not just kind of, kill bosses, kill trash, get cool loot. There's cool loot involved, but it's more of a kind of a you're in the Matrix kind of situation where you go in, you get these crazy, wacky things we've had for you to do, and you go through one of them. You actually escort a a wagon train through an entire zone worth of monsters, and you choose paths to go on. You make decisions to cure them, to save them, to help them get to the end, but it's very strategic, and it lasts for about 2 hours. So adventure content, we have it in leveling all the way up through cap, and it's just one of the ways we're trying to appeal to group-oriented PvE players.
Nice. So I have a question for everyone on the panel. Thinking about the things that we can talk about, and that's a lot of stuff, talk to me about the thing that you are most excited for as it relates to WildStar. Charlie?
Okay, hey, so I'm going to kind of cheat a little bit, and this is not necessarily a feature, but it's content. I'm really excited about the music in this game. We put a lot of...
Really, Mr. Audio Director?
Charlie? Get out of here.
Tell us more about the awesome voiceover.
And the voiceover as well. I'll tell you about a couple of those things. So the music, our lead composer, Jeff Kurtenacker, has put his blood, sweat, and tears into the score for this game. It's not your typical fantasy score. We've actually taken a hybrid approach. We took a full live orchestra, 90-piece plus orchestra. We've layered on electronic elements, so you have dubstep and trancey and all kinds of weird electronic stuff. And then we've layered in some Western guitar-ish, out on the dusty plain. So it's this really interesting hybrid score that I don't think people have put into games before. And we spent a lot of time and effort really crafting it. We wanted it to sound basically like at the level of film score. So that's one thing, music. And then the second thing I'm really excited about, and I got
Two things?
Yeah, can I have two?
Go ahead.
Good, okay. I'm sorry, I'm taking more time. And the second thing, I have to share this with Chad Moore, and Matt too. We have a very integrated approach at Carbine where many of the creative people work together in cross disciplines. So we've put together a really incredible VO system for this game. All of the races and many of the characters have lots of deep personality that we wanted to express in their voices. We actually auditioned over 5,000 people to get the voices for this game. Some of them, like Fred Tatasciore, which is the voice of our trailer, we just fell in love with these people. But we put a lot of effort into what the characters say from Chad's side and how they sound from my side, and I'm really excited about it.
Sweet. Matt Makarsky.
All right. Well, my favorite thing is really the characters and the personality. To me, that's the heart of WildStar in terms of our IP, in terms of our story, and it's really the reason that I love our game and want to play our game. So, like Charlie said, we make a huge effort in making sure that we understand the personality and that we're communicating that to you guys. And we cannot wait to announce the last 2 races, which will be hopefully happening very, very soon.
JG?
If you pour drinks into Mike Donatelli, he may announce it at any moment.
Why is it always about me drinking?
There's a lot of very
And why don't I have one?
But there have been a lot of interesting theories from you guys posting on the forums and stuff, and we're really excited to tell you whether you are right or whether you're wrong.
I like Paz. That's it.
Wow, that was short and sweet. Weird. So I get to answer my own question. How many of you here were old school Ultima Online players? Are there? Yeah, quite a few. I got to tell you, housing is awesome. It is really, really good stuff. And that notion that you can own a piece of the world and it's yours to do with what you please, to me, is something that's been lacking in a lot of the MMOs that I've played. I know that you always are in love with your first love forever, and Ultima Online was mine. But man, this housing stuff is going to blow your socks off.
Can I just add to that on the art team, one of our artists just made the toilet prop for housing.
And it flushes, so.
And there's a surprise in there, too.
Wow.
And that's why I like housing. Flushable toilets. Chad?
Yeah, for me, and Jeremy touched on it a little bit when he was talking about Elder Game, but one of the coolest things, in my opinion, is what we call the world story, which is basically soloable content that happens after you get to cap. And the world story is sort of the resolution, right, of the 150, 200 hours of content that you've experienced on Nexus, So you've been learning about the Elden and learning about the world groups and the other factions. And it's just a way for not just hardcore raiders, but everybody who wants to experience the resolution of the story of Planet Nexus and your role within it. Everybody gets to do that, and I think that's something that really sets us apart. It's going to be an episodic story that gets released over time, and I'm really excited for you guys to be able to take a look at that once we get it in.
Yeah, one of the learnings we had early on was that often in an MMO you try to cram the story into the raids, and you have zero ability to pick up the deep lore of what's going on while some dude is yelling at you to stand in the corner and cast more dots and bellowing at you for being a noob and all that good stuff. It's kind of tough to pick up on the subtleties of the lore. So pushing more of the lore and the deep story into ongoing, especially solo content or small group content, much better over raid content.